say good afternoon to all of you who are watching me right now. Some of you are watching me on the link that we have provided after you register for this free seminar, and some of you are watching me on Facebook Live. Whichever way you're watching me, feel free to invite someone else to watch along with you. I am doing 6 free seminars this month. I did one on Tuesday, and I'm doing one now. And for the next 2 weeks, I'm going to be doing one seminar on Tuesday, one seminar on Friday. So we have, after today, we have 4 more seminars to go, and they are all free. The flyer is on my Facebook page. If you want to know more about the other seminars that I'm doing, they're all listed on my Facebook page. This one today is on how to get a grant to fund your vision and to fund your business. So I'll be sharing that with you today. And in sharing that, I will be showing you, number one, how to get some grants right now, how to tap into the current situation, the grants that are available due to this COVID-19 issue. I'll be sharing that with you. And then I'll be sharing with you how to get grants in general. I'll be shedding some light on that with you as well. I'll touch on foundations, I will touch on corporations, and I will touch on some other stuff that will help you. Now, before I begin, let me tell you a little bit about myself. I am the CEO of LifeZone Television. We have been around for 10 years, actually just celebrated 10 years of broadcasting 24/7 on May 3rd. LifeZone TV is a 24/7 Christian TV station, and it's broadcasting into over 5 million households, and it is watched in over 100 countries around the world. We have featured many influential ministers of the gospel, as well as we have a variety of programs on the channel. So you can check it out, livezonetv.com. But I'm also the founder of High Flyer Mentoring, and High Flyer Mentoring has helped coach many people. Some of them now have their own businesses, or some of them have taken their businesses to the next level. And the High Flyer Mentoring and Coaching allows you to be able to really take either your ministry, your business, your nonprofit organization to the next level. I've been featured on at least over 15 media platforms. New York Times sent their reporters to follow me around and write a story about some of the things I do. I've been featured on TBN, a very popular, the largest Christian TV station in the world, and many other local and national media outlets. So I know a thing or two about the things that I've been doing, and I want to help to impact you, and I want to help to take you to the next level. Before I start talking about how to fund your grant, I also want to let you know about some opportunities that is available to you. One of them is the opportunity for me to coach you one-on-one. So whatever vision that you may have, whatever ideas that you may have, and you're looking to get it off the ground, I am the right person to talk to help coach you and get it off the ground. Unfortunately, many of us have ideas and sometimes even take a shot at it, but unfortunately, because there's no mentor, there's no one to hold you by the hand and guide you, you end up making a lot of mistakes, and I've come across that many times. So you don't have to reinvent the wheel, you don't have to go through the same mistakes that others have gone through. You can have me as your coach, and I'll be able to guide you along the way. I coach people one-on-one in the area of business, in the area of ministry and nonprofit, also in the area of media. Of course, I run a media platform myself, as well as in the area of marketing, showing you marketing planning, unique selling proposition, elevator pitch, and more. And then also in the area of personal development. So you may not have a business, but you want to grow as a person, and you want to remove the fears that you have, or whatever it is that's kind of hindering you from going to the next level in your life. Or maybe that's not even an issue. Maybe it's not so much removing anything, but just adding on what will help take you to the next level. I do all that. So if you are interested, you can definitely reach out by going to the highflyermentoring.com, highflyermentoring.com. You can go there and you'll be able to register for my coaching. Not only do I do the one-on-one coaching, I also have a platform, a monthly platform through the High Flyer Mentoring. And through that platform, I keep coaching you. And when you join the High Flyer Mentoring platform, you have all access pass to every seminar and training, as well as the new videos that are added onto the platform. You have access to them. You also get to have a Q&A session with me. As a matter of fact, just right before I started this broadcast, I had someone who joined the High Flyer Mentoring platform yesterday, and I gave her a call, just before I came on this teaching right now. I gave her a call and just kind of guided her through some stuff. And that 15-minute call, believe me, if she follows the instruction, is going to release some moolah, some money into her organization. So those are the kind of perks that come along with joining my High Flyer Mentoring platform. So I suggest that you join it if you are looking to take whatever you're doing to the next level. And as I shared that 15 minutes, she would never have known it, what I shared with her, and she would have been stuck. And I just unlocked something right there in 15 minutes. And I'll be glad to share a story with you when she uses it. But talking about sharing stories, I want to share another story. 3 people have received their money within the past 1 week. So 3 people have received their money. Which money am I talking about? Well, I talked about the grants, and I talked about COVID-19 grants. Guess what? Some people, when they listen to me talk, just like I'm about to talk, some people, when they listen to me talk, they take it seriously. Some people, when they listen, they don't take it seriously. They don't do anything. They just get information, and consequently, they get no results. Well, 3 people who took it seriously have gotten their own grants. They got their money. And I'm excited about that, and you too can be one of them. The last thing I want to say before I start talking about what I want to talk to you about today is that I've done a number of seminars this year. I started out this year with what I call Activate 2020. And I talked about how to set goals for your life, goals for your ministry, goals for your business, goals for your nonprofit organization. I talked about how to stay consistent and motivated. Sometimes people lose their motivation along the way, especially when you look at this time of the pandemic. Many people have lost their motivation. So I talked about motivation. I talked about keeping your motivation going, and I talked about grants and how to get grants from foundations. Now I talk a lot about these grants because one, I have gotten grants from corporation myself, and secondly, I also sit on a board of an organization that have gotten so many grants, and the most major one that we got recently was $1 million. So I know what I'm talking about this thing, and definitely if you want to know more, you want to connect with me so that I can guide you with that. So we started out with the Activate 2020, and we introduced our grant teachings. So many people came out and be a part of that. So many pastors, so many business people were in that meeting, and they were really, impacted and really taught how to do this. And then we went on and we did another seminar. We call it Start 2020. Because after you've been activated, after you've been motivated, it's a new year, you've gotten, that motivation going. Well, you need to use that motivation to start something. So we started Start 2020. And during that seminar, I taught on how to start a business and a non-profit organization, how to do marketing and branding for your business or organization, how to get strategic partnership for your ventures, as well as how to get grants from non-governmental foundations. Now, the reason why I'm mentioning the seminars we've had is because they are all available on demand right now. So if you miss them, you can literally listen or watch them on demand. And then from start, we went to the School of Money. We discussed about the School of Money, how to make money, how to manage money, and how to multiply money. Many people don't know how to make money. Certainly, they don't know how to manage it when they get it, and they don't know how to multiply it. So we've done those 3 major seminars on various things, issues and stuff. And then we did the media mentoring session, which teaches you how to get yourself, your organization, your business, your product, your services into mainstream media so that they can feature you on CNN, Fox, NBC, ABC, and all that. And that helps brand yourself, your business, your product, your services, and all that. So we've done that too. And then we did one on the ministry side. It was called Evangelism Summit. So we've done 5 major seminars, really, and you can have access to all of them on demand. And all you have to do is you go to www.lifezonetv.com. If you scroll down, you see a list of all those seminars. So you can then register and get access to all the on-demand videos. Then also for this 6 free seminars I'm doing this month, you can get access to them by going to www.lifezonetv.com. Scroll to the bottom and you see a link that says free seminar. Click on it and then you have access. All right, so today I want to talk to you about how to get grants to fund your vision and to fund your business. Let me start out by saying this. Because of the current pandemic, there are grants available that is connected to the current pandemic. So before we go further, let's deal with the current situation. Right now, there are COVID-19 related grants. So many of them. I spent 2.5 hours talking about it about a month ago. And then last week, I did another 1 hour or so seminar talking about them. I was sharing with you all on national grants. And I want to encourage you to make use of them. I got money, other people got money, and you too can get money. So grants, they are real and they are available, and you need to tap into the current grants, and so many of them. There are national grants, there are city grants, there are specific regional grants, and there are grants related to specific causes. There's just so many of them. So what I suggest that you do is to go and join my High Flyer mentoring platform, and you can have access to all of them. I'm not going to do another, 2.5 hours of seminar today on COVID-19 grants. I'm not going to do that right now. So, but you can get them. They're all available. What I've done is I've uploaded the forms that you need to fill out in some cases where forms are needed. And then I've also uploaded all the lists. I mean, I have a list of national, I have a list of specific New York City ones, I have a list of everything. There are grants even specifically for artists. So if you're a singer, if you're a writer, if you are a drummer, if you're a keyboardist, some of you keyboardists, you don't get to make money anymore and you're still, you're doing nothing. And there are grants available for you, but you are clueless about it, so you're not applying for nothing. And some people who know, they are applying for it. So you need to take this kind of stuff seriously and begin to apply. So if you go to highflyermentoring.com, highflyermentoring.com, you see there that says sign up, and then you'll be able to have access. I've uploaded everything, all the list of grants available for artists, available for individuals, available for non-profit, available for churches, available for businesses. They are all listed on my platform. I think I just lost my mic. So they're all listed on my platform. All right, let's switch this mic. All right, sorry about that. So they're all listed on the platform. So I definitely encourage you to make use of this High Flyer mentoring platform. It has everything. There's at least 10 documents that have been uploaded. Well, actually it's more than that. About 12 documents that are just all related to grants. One document is like 19 pages long, and they're all grants. Just list of grants available to you now, COVID-19 grants. So you need to take advantage of that. Like I said, some of my students have taken advantage of it. They've gotten money. So I'm even more confident now talking about it than I was a month ago. Because a month ago when I was talking about it, I was just sharing with you what was available. But now that some of the students that listened and they made use of it and got their money, well, guess what? What are you waiting for now? You know, some of you are very skeptical. You're always skeptical. Well, let me see who get it first before I apply. Unfortunately, by the time you wait for somebody else to get it, they finish the money. So, but right now, thank God that for the COVID-19 related particular one, that the money ran out, the CARE Act, they've released some funding for that, and I want to encourage you to apply for that. All right, so we've talked about, the fact that there are grants of all kinds, from corporations, not just government stuff. I'm talking about foundations too. I'm talking about corporations too. And they are funding all kinds of things. So if you are without right now, you don't need to be without. There are foundations who want to help you. There are organizations who want to help you. It don't matter that you don't have a business. They're giving to individuals too. There are grants available to individuals. There are grants available to churches. There are grants available to businesses. So grants are available to all kinds of people. What you need to do to access all of those, because I thought on them already, and I have a list of all of them. You see, when you download the documents that I have at High Flyer Mentoring, you'll be able to, number one, see the list of them, because you won't find this list, just laying around somewhere. These are lists that are compiled, from all over the place. So when you get that list that is on my platform, you click on each one, it will take you to their website. Literally, it will take you to their website, and you will be able to apply. So that's really how that works. Now, with anything, a lot of these things, people are looking for them all over. People are looking for money. They're looking. So when there's grants available, don't sit down there and just be wasting your time. You need to apply now. As you're even listening to me right now, you need to be going to highflyermentoring.com. And for those of you who are watching me on Facebook, I've made it easy for you by literally listing, the websites. So on the Facebook right now, you see the website. So just click on it. Click on High Flyer Mentoring. Go straight to that website, and then you will have access. You have access to signing up for the High Flyer Mentoring. Now, let me tell you something now about grants beyond COVID-19, because grants have always been existing, and people have been applying for grants before COVID-19. Some of you, maybe COVID-19 made you aware more about grants, but before COVID-19, there's always been grants. And as a matter of fact, I believe 2018, $333.4 billion dollars. Listen to this. $373.4 billion was given away as grants to people, to different causes in 2018. $303.4 billion was given away. Among that money that was given away, 16% of it was from foundations, private foundations. 16% of 373.4 billion was given away from private foundations, meaning 58.5 billion was given away by private foundations. Now, maybe you are listening to me and you don't understand what that is, so I'll break it down for you. When we talk about foundations, we are talking about people who start an organization and the objective or the goal of that foundation is to give away money. All over America right now, there are people, sometimes they are private citizens, who have money. They are billionaires, they are millionaires. Sometimes it's not even so much because they have money. They just believe in a particular cause. And their little resource, it could be 10,000, they want to put it into helping those who are helping out in that particular cause. So whichever one it is, you have private foundations who are giving away money. Some of you have heard about some private foundations. You've heard about some personal people like Bill Gates, right, giving away money. Or you've heard about, Warren Buffett. You've heard about many other names, of rich people giving away money. Now, we are not talking about anything political here or, some conspiracy theories, whatever. We're just talking about foundations right now. So we're talking about the fact that there are people who have money, who believe in a particular cause, and they're giving away money. So this is what foundations do. They are set up to give away money. As a matter of fact, in case you don't know, by law, the moment you set up as a foundation here in America, you are required to give away at least 5% of your previous year assets. So what that means is this: if last year we made 50 million, then 5% of that must be given away to different causes, because we are a foundation. Once you are a foundation, you give away money. Some of them averagely give away between 6 to 8%. But do you know that there are some foundations that actually give away 20 to 40% of their money? So they are set up to give you money. And in America, listen to this very carefully. In America, there are over 165,000 foundations. 165,000 foundations. Now, you are listening to me right now, you are saying, man, I need money to do this, I need money to fund that. And I'm saying there are 165,000 foundations who want to help you. They want to fund you. But you don't get to get the money because you don't know about this. And so you don't go for it. Now, let me also say this, that when it comes to foundations, foundations give away grants. And grants are free money. Grants are free money. So, remember that. A grant is not a loan. A grant is not something you have to pay back. Grants are free money. And so, once you get a grant, it is free. You don't return a grant. Keep that in mind. You don't return a grant. So, and I'm saying that there are 165,000 foundations who want to give you money right now. So what is it that you're doing? Maybe you are a daycare and you want to expand your daycare. Maybe you have passion for children and you want to have different programs for children. Maybe you have passion for women and you want to have, different programs for women. Maybe you have passion to help the incarcerated folks and you want to set up something to help them out. Maybe your own is men and you want to have different programs for men. Maybe you believe in helping to alleviate or pain or maybe to stop hunger, in the lives of people, and you want to have food pantry and you want to have many other programs to help those who are maybe on the streets to get off the street. I don't know what your own passion is, but whatever your passion is, I am saying to you that there are foundations all over America right now who actually want to fund you. They want to give you money. Some of them will give you just $5,000. Some of them will give you just $1,000, maybe to help pay for a paperwork or help pay for, a website or something. And some of them actually will give you millions of dollars. And I can attest to that because I sit as a board for an organization and we got $1 million. But that's just the biggest grant, private foundational grants that we got. We've got other ones that are big too, but not from foundations. But this one, the $1 million, is from foundation. Now we've gotten 50,000, we've gotten 100,000. Just not too long ago, I had the privilege of sitting with a foundation as we discussed about the 100,000 they're going to give to us. So I'm saying to you that there are foundations, they want to fund what you do. Again, what is it that is your vision? You say, well, I wish I can have an arts program that will really help people. All these kids, instead of being on the street, they can just come to my arts program and they can just, have a place to de-stress. Instead of going through their depression or whatever, they can just come here and just, sing or dance or, learn one thing or the other and all that kind of stuff. Well, guess what? Foundations want to fund you. They want to help you with that. Some of you have been carrying some vision for so long, and you've not been able to, carry it out or get started with it because you really don't have the money. So I'm saying to you that foundations are there, and they will help you with this. So 16% of the 373.4 billion came from foundation, and then among that are corporate foundations. So you have private foundations where an individual who is a billionaire or a millionaire or whatever is giving away money. But then you also have some corporations, like, for example, Walmart Foundation. So you have Walmart as a business, but then they set up a foundation. So there are corporations who have a foundation, and they give away money, right? And then 8% of the 373.4 billion was also from bequests. Bequest just simply means this: a gift that someone leaves at the end of their life. So just imagine, you have a relationship with me over the years, and then eventually, when I die, I said, okay, you know what? 2 million from my money is going to go to you, your foundation, or your ministry, or your business, or whatever you're doing, your non-profit organization. So that's bequest. So you have some of these rich folks, they die and they leave, they give an instruction and they say, okay, 5 billion should go to this program. Now, obviously, I'm not going to say they should give you 2 million at the end of my life if I don't have a relationship with you. So when it comes to bequest, it starts with a relationship. So 31.8% of money given out in 2018 were given out as bequests. So someone who died said, give away. In some cases, some of them will even say, give away all my money to a particular university. Give away all my money to a particular organization. Give my money away to a particular church, right? So you have a relationship with them already, and they do that. And then you also have the corporate giving programs. So what do I mean by corporate giving programs? Now, the corporate giving programs are different from the corporate foundations. Corporate foundations are set up, connected with a company, right, to give away money. But then you also have the corporate giving program. So which means that the corporation does not necessarily set up a foundation, but they give. So in some cases, they will give cash. And in some cases, they will give what they call in-kind gifts or in-kind deans. So with in-kind, it just means that if they produce, let's say, gloves, then they will donate gloves to your organization. If they produce masks, especially when we think about this pandemic that we're in right now, then they will donate the mask. Or if they produce, maybe they make food, they will donate the food. I remember some years ago when I used to do a lot of street outreaches in Brooklyn and even here in Queens, what I would do is I would go to this particular company that makes beef patties in Brooklyn. And I will go to them, I will let them know I'm about to do a street outreach in such and such a place, and they will give me boxes of beef patty, because I usually love to give away food at my outreaches, so that as we are reaching the neighborhood, people are coming and they're taking food. So you have corporations who will actually give money they through their in-kind things. Now, the list of corporations, where to find them, I have put them together in my seminar, my Grant Opportunity Seminar. And my Grant Opportunity Seminar, they are all attached to the various seminars I've talked about. They are attached to the Start 2020, the Activate 2020, as well as the School of Money. So if you sign up to watch the on-demand videos for any of those, you will actually also have the information, the full information. You will have the locations where you can find the list of that 165,000 grants. You'll find all those things there. All right? So now let me teach you, there are 10 things about grants that you need to know. 10 things about grants that you need to know. The first one is this. I'm not going to be able to share all of them with you. However, if you sign up for my High Flyer Mentoring, you have access to the list of grants. And then if you sign up for any of these past seminars that I've done, you'll be able to get this handout as well. All right, the first one is, number one, the first thing you need to know is that you cannot survive on grants alone. You cannot survive on grants alone. You know, sometimes you have a vision, you have an idea, you want to do something, and you're thinking, well, if somebody can just give me $100,000, that'll be good. Well, one of the things foundations are looking for is they want to make sure that you also have a plan beyond their grants as to how to fund your vision. Now, they will give you money, yes, no doubt, but they also want to know that, okay, but if we give you money, 100,000, and this 100,000 runs out, then what happens? Is that the end of your organization? So do you have other plans apart from our grants? Do you have other plans as to how to keep your program running? Now, I know all about it. You know, I sit on a board, like I said, of a big organization. Well, I won't say big is relative, you know, big in a sense, but there are bigger organizations as well. So I know what it is that sometimes an organization can get to a point where there's not enough money to meet payroll. So if, let's say, you start an organization for children and you're helping children out, and you have maybe 5 people working for you, so you get a grant from a foundation, they give you 50,000. This 50,000 will help pay your salary and the salary of those 5 people for the next, 3 months, right? So after the 3 months, what happens? Do you fold up? Do you close down the organization because now you don't have money to afford to pay the salaries of the workers? So a foundation will be interested to know that, okay, we will give you money, but then what else are you doing to make sure you have, money to sustain your organization? So keep in mind that you cannot survive on grants alone. You need multiple streams of income to support your nonprofit. So as you're setting up a nonprofit or an organization to help people out there, you need to make sure that you have multiple sources of income in place so that your organization will keep running. Some of you are running an organization right now and you've never given that a thought, or maybe you are planning to run an organization. Well, you need to think also about how you're going to continuously fund that organization. All right? So you cannot survive on grants alone. All right, let me also say this. Wow, when I was telling you about the percentages of where the money was coming from, $373.4 billion was given away as grants in 2018, and I said 16% came from foundation, 8% came from bequests, 5% came from, corporations. Guess what? There is also individual giving, and 71% also comes from individual giving. You're talking about $264.6 billion that come from regular people. People who are just giving you $1,000 or $3,000. Wow. So even as you have a nonprofit and you're trying to get grants to support whatever you're doing, don't neglect the individual giving. I know you want to get 100,000, you want to get 500,000. While you are aiming at that and going for that, but don't ignore setting up the organization in such a way that regular day-to-day folks can be giving you money, whether it's $50 a month or $100 a month, or stuff like that, because they all add up. And according to these statistics, 71% came from individual giving to $264.6 billion. Wow. So while you're busy running after the big money, you also cannot afford to neglect the small money, because they end up adding up. All right? So that was the first thing I wanted to share. The second thing is this. Not all foundations are alike. Not all foundations are alike. So as you're approaching foundation to get money from them, keep in mind that not all foundations are alike. All foundations are different. They vary in sizes, they vary in interests, and they vary in motivation. Very important. They vary in sizes. So just like the kind of money they will give vary, right? Some will give you $1 million, some will give you 5 million, some will give you $1 billion. Yes, believe it or not, there are those who are giving away $1 billion. And some will give you $5,000, some will give you $1,000. So not all foundations are alike. They vary in sizes. They also vary in interest. So there are some foundations that will be interested in your children's program. But there are some other foundations, they're not interested in your children's program. They only want to help senior citizen programs. So if you're doing anything for senior citizens, they will fund you. But then there are those who are not interested in that. They're only interested in incarcerated folks or prison issues. So if you're doing anything with criminal justice or helping the people who came out of jail and stuff like that, they will fund you. So out of the 165,000 foundations, there are different interests. And believe me, the interests vary a lot. Some are interested in churches. That's all they want to fund. I know a friend of mine who actually, it's a couple. They once worked along with me in ministry. And when they went to start their own church, they got a $30,000 grant to open their own church. So there are organizations who will actually give a church money to help them open the church. Now, when I say that, maybe you are watching me right now and you're saying, wow, I want to open a church and I need some money. Well, obviously, they're not just going to give it to everybody who's trying to open a church. So you have to have your plan together. It got to make sense to a foundation that, wow, we love this, we love what you're trying to do. You have your plan all together and stuff like that. If you say, I want to start a church, but nothing really shows that you can even sustain a church, nothing really shows that you even have any plan or anything like that, why should anybody give you money? Why should they throw away their money? So foundations want to give you money, but they want to be sure that, yes, you know what you're doing and your plans are pretty unique. Let me say something to the uniqueness of your plan. Sometimes you may say, well, I want to feed the homeless. Well, guess what? There may be other people feeding the homeless right around you. So what's going to make your own food pantry different? I will never forget, some years ago, I was in South Jamaica. I had a church inside South Jamaica area there, not far from the project, the Jamaica Houses Project, South Jamaica. And I remember at that time I wanted to start a food pantry. And I actually did start one. But I wanted to get some food from a food bank of New York. And I reached out to them. And they responded back to me and they said, oh, sorry, we cannot, grant you the food because in South Jamaica, there's already 30 churches and organizations that are doing the same thing. And I said, wow, that is amazing. So eventually I started my own, but I didn't get it from Food Bank of New York. I got it from other sources. And I remember that some people will come to my food pantry, they will literally bring their shopping cart coming from another food pantry. They already have food in there, and then they're coming to get more food from me, and then they go into the next place to get more food again. So it's like, it's a whole lot of it. So I mentioned that to say this, that your organization, your business, trying to get grants, what is it that makes yours different from the other guy? What is it that makes your program unique? So as you're putting your program together and you want to get a grant, you need to make sure that you are unique. Whatever you put together, make it unique. Don't make it the same exact thing that everybody else is doing. Find a twist to what you do. You want to do a food pantry? Okay, is your food pantry going to have something different? Maybe you give free haircut to those who come and get fruit from you. You identify those who need free haircut, and you give them free haircut. Well, guess what? That right there has set you apart from the other many food pantries, because most food pantries, you just line up, collect food, and you go. Maybe you decide that, okay, beyond just giving them food, you also want to know their needs. And you have them fill out a form, and you do some sort of intake or whatever, and you begin to meet other needs that they have. Do you know that right there, foundations will look at you and they will say, wow, we love this idea. And they'll be willing to give you the $100,000 that you want, right? Because now what you're doing is unique. It's not like what everybody else does. So foundations have varying sizes, varying interests, and varying motivations. There are things that motivate them. And you want to keep that in mind, that what motivates one foundation is not necessarily what motivates the next foundations. All right? Now, when we talk about different types of foundations, remember I said that not all foundations are alike. Well, there are different types of foundations. So you have private foundations, right? And sometimes the money is coming from an endowment. So they don't raise money from the public, it's coming from an endowment. It could be from a personal wealth, right? And they decide to give a portion of it to causes through their foundation. So somebody rich has a lot of money, their own personal money, they decide to give it out. Sometimes it's an independent, foundation, like a family foundation, right? Like Melinda Gates, like Kellogg, like MacArthur. Those are independent family foundations, right? And then you also have some private foundations, smaller ones in your area, and they fund local causes. So you're doing something in Queens here, there are foundations, local foundations that will fund you because you're doing something locally. And there are those foundations that will fund you because you're doing something nationally. So keep all these things in mind as you're looking to get foundations and grants for your venture and for your vision. And then you also have the company-sponsored ones. So the funds that come from for-profit businesses. And some of them have foundations, like I said to you before. And so what you want to do is you want to know their interests. Some of the companies that you are buying from already, like Walmart, they have a foundation. So reach out to them and say, hey, you guys have a foundation, and find out what is it that they fund, what is it that is their interest. Some people will only give to specific things, and some people will give to everything. So you just want to know what are their various interests. Another type of foundation to keep in mind is the operating foundation. So I said there are private foundations, there are company-sponsored foundations, and then there are the operating foundations. Now, operating foundations are the ones that you stay away from, because they only award a few grants, and they generally give to their own foundations and causes. So just imagine that. Like the Getty Fund, they give to themselves. They may give to some internships and fellowships here and there, but they really give to themselves. And then I had mentioned that there's some direct corporate giving program, right? And you can keep that in mind. What is it that motivates these various foundations? Well, they vary, like I said before. Private foundations, usually, they want to fulfill a philanthropic goal and interest. So for the private foundation, they have a philanthropic goal, and their goal may be, hey, you know what, every year I want to give away 20%, and I want to help to see poverty go down. or I want to help to see that more incarcerated people, when they come out, they are getting jobs and becoming stable. Or I want to see more children becoming more educated. And I want to commit 10 million every year to that, right? So they have a philanthropic goal and interest that they want to, fulfill. So there's a variety of issues through an objective process, and they're working on these things. So that's their motivation. And like I said before, family foundations, they vary in size and scope. Some may give in particular communities or a particular geographic location, maybe a place where they went to school. Okay, they went to school at Harvard, so they want to give around that Harvard area. Or they went to school at City College of New York, and they want to give to anyone who's doing great things in Harlem, And when I say great things, it doesn't mean that you have big budget or anything, but you have a good idea and you want to help people in some unique ways, and they want to give to you. Now, what is it that motivates corporations? Well, corporations, their own motivation is different from a lot of the private foundations. For corporations, their own motivation tends to focus more on branding and visibility and corporate social responsibility. So what do I mean by that? For example, like one time I got money from Health Plus. I was having an outreach in Jamaica, Queens, and reached out to Health Plus, sent them my letter, of interest and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, so they gave me $1,000 towards that particular outreach. Now, for them, that's a corporate, organization, and it's not a foundation. You remember we talked about corporate giving program? So that's the corporate giving